A voice you trust with inside information you need. This is Special Order with Louie Gohmert.
Hi, Louie Gohmert here. Democrats have a bill that we're going to be voting on. It's H.R. 1. It was the first bill they wanted to prioritize, H.R. 1. Not hard to remember that. But it's called For the People Act. And it is everything you ever hated about what happened in the last election. They're legalizing everything that went wrong. So, for example, it strips the ability away of states to redraw their own congressional districts. That has never, ever been taken away from the states to the extent it does. It's permanent in this bill. But the biggest deal, it wipes out any voter ID laws. If you think it's unfair that you have to show an ID to get on a plane, train, to get cigarettes, to get alcohol, to get into an R movie, anything you think like that is unfair, well, it's not going to be required for voting. You'll have to still do it everywhere else. Democrats will still have to show an ID to get into the National Democratic Convention, but you won't have to show an ID to vote. And I don't care what anybody says, cheating, fraud in elections has been going on since the very first election. It's always gone on. Lyndon Johnson made a real art form out of it. It still goes on. And the best thing to end so much in the way of fraud, make somebody identify, show who they are. There's nothing wrong with that. Supreme Court has okayed voter ID laws from some states. They'll be wiped out under this bill. Also, it interferes with a state's ability to review their own voter rolls, to eliminate the dead people. Obviously, the only reason that you would prevent someone from taking dead people off the voter rolls, you want to be fair-minded and allow dead people to vote like everybody else. I understand wanting equality, but we got to draw the line somewhere, and I think those that are deceased is a good place to draw the line, and people that shouldn't vote. Taxpayer-funded politicians is another big aspect to this bill. It takes your taxpayer dollars and will fund politicians. Now, there's just something not right about that, but that's part of this bill. Another thing is that it gives felons the right to vote. Now, on the one hand, if you're part of a political party and your leadership says the only chance we have to win elections permanently and always be the ruling class is to have felons vote, people that have murdered, raped, pillaged, we want those voters. Those are our kind of people. Let's give them the vote. That's in this bill. They feel so strongly about that. Anyway, it changes, and this may not seem like a big deal at first, but it changes the membership of the Federal Election Commission. Now, that's the commission that decides what's fair and what is not. And it's currently a 6-person board that runs the Federal Election Committee, 3 Democrats, 3 Republicans. And that means something has to be egregious enough that you get somebody from the other party to go along with you. Well, this will change it from 6 to 5. We have a Democrat administration, so this will be Democrats ensuring that they are not just governing as the majority party, that they are the rulers of America from here on. This is serious stuff. No party in the history of this country has ever tried to make itself a permanent ruling party to the extent this bill does. There's nothing that says this is for the people other than the title. I hope and pray you'll help us stop this by notifying whoever represents you in the House or Senate and letting them know, don't you dare vote for this atrocity.